really, really devastating news that we are getting this morning. We heard that he complained of stomach ache early, and he was rushed to the hospital, and he was told to present his COVID-19 test result before he could be attended to. They said he went for the test as directed, and very early this morning he passed away. They didn't confirm whether it was COVID that took him. They just said he was asked to present his COVID result. He should go for a COVID test before they will attend to him. So really, really devastating that Joe Erico, the last of the three Trojans who led Nigeria to the 2002 FIFA World Cup, has passed away. But we'll be looking at all the happening stories, things that are breaking in Nigerian football. Former coach of the under-23 national team and also coach of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, the first coach to win the CAF Champions League for Nigeria, Kadri Ikana. Somehow he is in the news again, and there's something that they are saying about him. We will also look at that story. Good evening. Welcome to Sports Fiesta. It is live on 92.7 KUFM, Benin City. My name is Saliu Ibrahim. They call me the Sports Ibracadabra because I bring magic to sports presentation and analysis. Agosa Agbekan, the sports maestro, is also here. Agosa, heartbreaking news coming out today. Joe Erico, a former assistant coach of the Super Eagles, has passed away.
Well, this is not the kind of news I was expecting, but this is live. Sometimes you get breaking news that are not pleasant, and sometimes you get pleasant breaking news. But sadly, 72, I think he hasn't. One will have to thank God for the kind of life he lives, but this is somebody one will still want to live on, to continue to pass on the good, the knowledge that he has in football. Yes, he's not one of those that one will look at and say, okay, these are the ones that really made so much money in football, like the Canos and the coaches. But these guys also were the ones that started it. They built a platform on which others today.
Yeah, he was part of the Green Eagles squad to the 1976 Africa Cup of Nations, where Nigeria finished third.
Then we had
in Ethiopia.
We had a foreign coach who believed in him, and he had to play a crucial role. Even when they qualified Nigeria for 2002 Korea and Japan, nobody expected, but the three of them were able to do it. But at the end of the day, they were pushed aside, and we had although the local coach too, our chief, they who took Nigeria to the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan. We know how Nigeria ended. Yes, one win, one loss, and one draw with the three Lions. So for me, I think
that's horrible. They should have kept Stephen Keshi, Joe Erico, and Shoaib Ahmadu. I've always talked about two instances where Nigeria got it horribly wrong in football administration and politics. One of these was in 2002 when we fired this trio that we've mentioned. And for what? It was, they told them, they gave them a target: get to the semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations. They've already qualified for the World Cup. So the target was at the Africa Cup of Nations, get to the semi-final. And we went to Mali. We got to the semi-final. Unfortunately, we were beaten by Senegal. Senegal got to the final, met Cameroon, and lost on penalty. And we know what Senegal did at the World Cup later. They got to the quarterfinal, the second African team to do that. So there was no shame losing to Senegal in Mali 2002. But I don't know. The people who thought they knew more about football administration than any other people decided to fire this gentleman. And when you hear the tales that came out later, it wasn't really for footballing reasons. It was like they said they were disrespectful to one minister. The players, the player. You know, apart from firing them, they basically disbanded the team. Stephen was our captain then, Sunday Olise, did not go to that World Cup. Yakubu Egbeni, who was our highest scorer in the qualifiers, did not go to the World Cup. There are so many good players in that squad who they termed to be arrogant and what have you, and they didn't allow them go to the World Cup in 2002. No, I don't think Tayo Tayo came. Tayo Tayo was in 2005 now, under 21, under 20. He wasn't there at all. So we're talking about the Finidi George and so many other players. So they I mean, it was just I really don't understand what happened. So that was what they did, which was horrible, because we saw what happened. They now came, a new coach, new team. Basically, they just left Kanu Nwankwo, Austin Okocha, and one or two other players from that squad. They brought some other guys, Julius Agawa, to join these guys. That was when we now went and brought Bartholomew Ogbeche, the bandana wearing guy, Efe Soje, and so many other players that they brought into the national team. And we saw what happened at the World Cup. We did not even go beyond the group stages. And remember that in the two previous World Cups, 1994 and 1998, Nigeria not only qualified for the round of 16, we topped our groups that included Spain and Argentina. We topped our group in 1994 and in 1998. That was one time I said, look, we got it horribly wrong here. The second time was after the Africa Cup of Nations in before the Africa Cup, the 1996 Africa Cup of Nations, when we refused to go because of the political issues between General Sani Abacha, then, who was the head of state of Nigeria, and Nelson Mandela, the president of South Africa. So Nigeria did not go to the 1990. Nigeria would have won that World Cup, would have won the 1998 Africa Cup of Nations, would have won the Ghana Nigeria 2000 Africa Cup of Nations, because it was the remnant of that team that came and played in that 2000, and they still got to the final. So imagine if that squad from 96, the one that we had just won the Atlanta, it was after the Africa, it was from that team, some of the players that were supposed to go to the Africa Cup of Nations in 1996 that went to Atlanta and won the Olympic gold. So I will argue with anybody that Nigeria will have won that Africa Cup of Nations in 1996, but somehow we didn't go, and we now suffered from it was even a 2-tournament ban. We're not supposed to participate in the year 2000, but following the death of Abacha, they now lifted the ban, because they banned us from the 1998 Africa Cup of Nations. We didn't go. That was in Burkina Faso, so we did not go. So those two instances, we got it horribly wrong. And you know, this one, even when you read the history of Joe Errico, I mean, you will just shake your head at what has happened to him. The way, after telling him do this, they did that, and later he was fired. He qualified
Nigeria. He was part of the coaching crew, rather, that for the under 20 squad for Sydney.
Under 23 squad for the Sydney 2000.
And he was
fired just before the just before the Olympic Games in the year 2000. And he did not hold that grudge against Nigeria. They came again in 2001 and said, Joe Errico, see, we are in serious trouble. We want you and Stephen Keshi and Shaibu Amadu to come on this mission to serve Nigerian football. And he didn't say, when I helped you to qualify for the Olympic Games, he fired me. He came and did his job. Nigeria qualified, and afterwards they fired him. And we know what was done to Stephen Keshi. How many times he too was fired after doing well, but he kept coming back every time, even after what happened in South Africa in 2013. Every time Nigeria wanted him to help, he would come back. How about Shaibu Amadu? Several times, I mean, he will qualify, they will fire him. The same thing they did to him in 2002. They asked of him in 2010, qualify for the World Cup and get to the semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations. He qualified for the World Cup. I remember that I followed them to Kenya, and we had to beat Kenya and hope that Mozambique will do us a favor. Mozambique actually beat Tunisia, because if we needed Mozambique to play a draw with Tunisia so that we'll qualify. But Mozambique beat Tunisia, and we did our own by beating Kenya 3-2. I was in the stadium that day, and I recall the interview afterwards with Shaibu Amadu. So that was the targets, achieved. They now said, okay, get to the Africa Cup of Nations semi-final. I don't even know why we attach that, because the way it was before. After, but I think now that they've changed it, although because of COVID, that's why we are going to have the Africa Cup of Nations in an even year, because they moved it to odd years, just so that it will not be clashing with the World Cup. And the Africa Cup of Nations usually comes up in January, then you have the World Cup in June, July. So the bane of Nigerian coaches was always that there was an Africa Cup of Nations before the World Cup. So even if they give them a target, qualify for the World Cup, and the person has qualified, normally who qualifies you for the World Cup, you just tell him, okay, go and go take the team to the World Cup. But unfortunately, when Stephen Keshi qualified for the World Cup, sorry, not Stephen Keshi now, Shoaib Ahmadu qualified for the World Cup in 2010, there was the 2010 Africa Cup of Nations in Angola. And the same thing that happened in 2002 happened again. They gave him a target, semi-final at the Africa Cup of Nations. He went to Angola and achieved that. But unfortunately, he was fired after reaching the target. He finished third at that Africa Cup of Nations in 2013. Yet, he came to Nigeria and they fired him. And God bless his soul, he never, even after that, there were times when, even as at the time that he died, he was still in the employ of the Nigeria Football Federation. He never said, no, you guys have embarrassed me in the past, I will not serve you. And I recall here on this show, just before he died, we called him. He even told us he was on his way to Okpela that day, but he called us back. I remember I called him, and then he called back and I said, thank you very much for returning the call. And he spoke to us on this show. So now the last of them has gone. Joe Erico. We hear that he's survived by his wife and 4 children. His burial arrangements will be announced in the coming days. These were people that really have the Nigerian blood flowing in their veins. And you wonder why they call him Jogo Bonito. It was because he brought that flair of Brazilian soccer to Julius Berger, where he was the coach. So he was the coach of Julius Berger for many years. Yeah, played for Julius Berger, played for a couple of other clubs, and was just fantastic. And that's why they nicknamed him Jogo Bonito. But today we are saying goodbye to a great servant of Nigerian football, the last of the trio who qualified Nigeria for the 2002 FIFA World Cup, and they were fired for for achieving that. Okay, we'll go on this break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
When you think durability and great value for your money, only one name comes to mind, and that is Jasogwe Auto Care, a subsidiary of Jasogwe Global Network Cars and Heavy-Duty Vehicles. Solite battery made in Korea, Everstart battery made in Korea, and GS Yuasa battery made in Japan, and other batteries. At Jasogwe Auto Care, we are committed to making our customers happy with our affordable batteries, which are direct from the manufacturers. Jasogwe Global Network is a very reliable name in the sale and installation of CCTV cameras for your homes and offices, power backup solutions and components consisting of solar PV module, solar inverter, and sealed maintenance-free batteries. Visit us today at Jasogwe Global Network, 59 Akbakwaba Road, Benin City, Nigeria, or call us on 0803-8624-858 or log on to www.jasogwe.com. Jasogwe, value for money.
One year in mind, the families of Iragbon and Irunse cordially request the honor of your presence to the 1 year remembrance Thanksgiving of our beloved daughter, wife, sister, auntie, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, late Elder Mrs. Christiana Iweko Irunse. Date, Sunday, 24th January 2021, time 10 a.m. at True Vine Assembly, 25 Ozolwa Avenue off Ekewan Road by Owando Filling Station, Benin City, Edo State. Reception follows immediately at her residence, number 8 Boundary Road off Henry Omorogeva Street, Ubuyoho Quarters, Benin City. Signed,
Grace Uzibo for the family.
when she land. Come free go, Erico, come free go, go poor rise. Indigenous coach, and waiting I go talk. Foreign coach, waiting you feel. Kerenke, Liberia come, we give them two. Sudan come, we give them four. Ghana come, Naturi Kundo, even the rest, them here from us. You don't pay.
Yeah, we are mourning the passing of Joe Rico, one of the coaches who qualified Nigeria for the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Was for many years the coach of Julius Berger, where he earned that nickname Jogo Bonito. He was an exponent of the Brazilian style of playing football. May so rest in peace. We had that time he was 71, 72 years old. So our hearts are heavy this evening discussing Joe Rico, somebody who did so well for Nigerian football. All right. We've got this piece of story which is making the rounds on sporting platforms, and it concerns Kadiri Ikana, who is the first Nigerian coach to win the African Champions League. That's the CAF Champions League. Won it with Enyimba in 2003. 2004, Okay Imodi repeated that feat with the same club. Okay, so when things are happening, like the problems in Nigerian Football League and other stuff, people like Kadiri Kana, they are institutions because they have been in the system for a very long time, has managed so many clubs in Nigeria over the years. So he is eminently qualified to talk about how to find a solution to the problem of the league in Nigeria, and also how to help Nigerian sides to win continental laurels. So that really was the purpose of the interview. But we are going to concentrate on what he said concerning the state, Edo State. Let me quote him. You remember that a couple of months back we talked about him and the problems that he was having. There was an interview of his that went viral, and even we played it here on this show. And I recall that a professional colleague who interviewed him asked him about even his sons-in-law, who he didn't even want to say anything about that. He was please, let's forget it. Let's see how we can go forward. We're happy that some progress has been made with his health, but I said he said something about Edo State, which really got us. I want to try and see how we can discuss this. He said he mentioned that the Nigeria Football Federation put him in a hotel during that time, and they paid for hotel. The Nigeria Coaches Association also paid for his flight ticket and everything. But he now went on to say about Edo State. Surprisingly, my own state never came up with anything for me, not even a get well soon letter. Only the chairperson of the Nigerian Women Football League, Aisha Falode, brought a letter to me, but I never heard anything from her again. That's the only person that reached out to me from Edo State. Look, hold on. Kadiri Kana is a legend, honestly, in Nigerian football, and we appreciate that. He won the Africa Cup of Nations in 1980, the then Green Eagles, and he, with Bendel Insurance, he also was a part of the team that won the league in 1979, and also in when they won the FA Cup, was that in 1980 or so. So he's part of the success story of Bendel Insurance and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, then known as the Green Eagles. He won the Nigerian League in 1979, then won the Nigerian FA Cup in 1978 and 1980, then won the Africa Cup of Nations in 1980. So he is a legendary figure in Bendel Insurance. But I think that is his from what I can see from his profile is the only association he has with Edo State. He did not coach any club in Edo State from the records that I can see of him, except maybe there were things I missed. The teams he managed: El Kanemi Warriors, Business Alliance, Kwara United, Sunshine Stars, Sharks of Port Harcourt, Giwa FC, Enyimba International. We mentioned that he won the Champions League with them. The Nigeria Olympic team in 2004, Kano Pillars, the Nigerian women's national team, that's the Super Falcons. But sadly for him, he did not win the African Women Cup of Nations. Then 2013, I think he managed Nasarawa United. Then returned to Enyimba, has managed Shooting Stars, and also his last coaching job, the one that I can remember, 2016 to 2017, Kano Pillars. But all this that I mentioned, there's no club in Edo State, and I'm not aware, is there any time that he worked for the Edo State government in any capacity?
That I cannot say.
Yeah, so because these things, when you, if you want to hold the state government responsible, you want to hold certain people responsible, we've got to place things in the right perspective. So if he were like in the employ of the Edo State government and nothing has been done, yeah, you can now start calling out the state government to say, why was this not done? But as at this moment, he isn't an employee of the Edo State government, and I don't know, maybe in the past there is something, maybe on unpaid salaries. Yeah, if we had that information, we would be saying it and demanding that the state government should pay him, but we are not aware of anything like that. I recall a couple of months back too, Chairman Christian Chukwu had some issues, and the story was all over town. People were just berating the Enugu state government and everything, until the Enugu state government was forced to come out with a statement, and they said, look, people keep talking about Christian Chukwu as if he was a destitute old man, and this is not the story. It's not the situation. That he is a director in the Rangers setup, and he was well paid. So they acknowledge that he's been having some health challenges, and they now went on to list how much they've spent. From the story that I read, and the state government has spent about 27 million. But let us not forget that Christian Chukwu, at that point, and even up to now in some capacity, he is employed by the Enugu state government. It's different from the situation that we have with Kadri Kana at the moment.
Somebody like Kadri Kana should be, if not the manager of the Ben Insurance, but somebody working close to Ben Insurance to see how he can make Ben Insurance the way Enyimba was. We know that when it comes to spending, yes, Andrews Okalu was really pumping money into Enyimba, but we have got a state government that wants to also rebrand Ben Insurance and put them out there to also compete for our honors. So I think somebody like Kadiri, he is an asset. He has really done well both for the national team and for the time he has spent with Ben Insurance, but he should be part of the rebuilding of Ben Insurance, and that is what we should be getting from those who have played, who are from this state and have also played for Ben Insurance, or even did not play for Ben Insurance, but their knowledge, their how technical.
Are you aware that he tried to get the job and he wasn't given?
No, I'm not aware that he tried to get insurance job or get a job with the state government. He wasn't. I'm not aware, but I think these are some of the people that we want to run, because they know how to put the square pegs in square holes. But then I think the fact that nobody from Edo State, even cared about him when you needed their care the most, I think that is really not okay, because he is from the state, he has done well, he's a national treasure, but this is somebody who should be taken care of. Yes.
Is it based in Edo State?
Even if it does, I don't know, but even if it doesn't be,
no, because there are so many of them. I know that Kadri Kana is our national treasure and everything, yeah. But just as we said, with even with Rashidi Ekini, even with Christian Chukwu when he was ill, then that, look, the truth is the governments cannot take care of everybody. That is just the bitter truth. So maybe there should be something to try and rehabilitate them. Maybe give them jobs after they finish, just as you said now with Kadri Kana. But all through his his sojourn in coaching, I didn't see anywhere where he managed a club in Edo State. Even as recently as in 2016, 2017, he was managing Kano Pillars. So maybe he felt, well, there are bigger things out there for me than going to Edo State. But anyway, we hope that things work out well for him, because I recall last time that they had that interview with him, he was not happy. He said certain things, and then afterwards we heard that some so-called came his way. But this story just came out today, and he was saying that nobody from Edo State. So I had to go and check the records to see whether he worked anytime with the Edo State government, or whether he was an employee of the Edo State government. So I think what we can do is to appeal. If it were a situation where he worked for the Edo State government and he's being owed salaries, then you can now make demands and say, no, this man has paid his dues, so you have got to also reciprocate. But this one, it will just be an appeal to the state government, because honestly, there are so many others who had been part of the coaching structure in Edo State, and those ones need to be taken care of. The case of Karerik, I think if there are any clubs that are owing him, then we've got to hold them accountable and say, pay this man his dues. If the Nigeria Football Federation, for whom he served in different capacities, first as the under-23 coach, and then later as the coach of the Super Falcons, if they are owing him anything, then we've got to say they've got to pay him. But we must understand that the government cannot take care of everybody. It's just impossible. It cannot happen. Okay, let us go on now and look at some other issues. In Real Madrid, they say they are seeing an end of the Zinedine Zidane era. As somebody who is an expert in Spanish football, Guillem Belagüe, he is saying this. So he says that they do not want to replace him as a manager until the summer, but they just feel that he will be gone after losing to Alcoyano on Wednesday. And in fact, they also went on to say that the fact that he did not really develop youngsters, players coming from the academy, that they are not happy about it.
Yeah, one of them is Martin Odegaard, who is being linked to Arsenal. At the age of 16, Norwegian was spotted by Real Madrid. By now, I was expecting to be like Ansu Fati, the way Ansu Fati is developing at Barcelona, but he has not been given game time. And right now, he is saying that he wants to go to Real Sociedad, even if Arsenal are interested, because he has gone there on loan and he did well, but he thought he would get more game time under Zinedine. He returned around, he's having issues, so the young man wants to play, and that is the reason why he was signed. So for me, I think Zinedine not being able to bring out superstars, to turn them to youngsters, to superstars, I think that has been his problem. But he's a good manager, no doubt. But losing that game yesterday, I think that's Real Madrid as a club, yes, they will value every tournament, especially when you lose to a smaller club. I think that is not something that one would really come to think about, because look at the wages these guys are paid. Maybe 2-3 players from Real Madrid, their wages could take care of all the players at Apoyano. A 30-year side causing that kind of concern. We know it does happen, but not at this period when they are not even top of the La Liga and they are still struggling to overtake Atletico. Well, all the same, he has done well, honestly, and even if he leaves today, yes, I would say he's one of the best managers I've seen when it comes to winning the continental trophies. But sometimes you have to get this right, and the things are not going right. I think the manager gets the blame.
All right, before we start taking your calls, let's quickly look at this story. The manager of Aston Villa, Dean Smith, is angry, and he says that what happened yesterday was farcical and pathetic. Recall that afterwards he was even sent off, but he was fuming about one of the goals scored by Manchester City, the first goal. I mentioned it in the morning. I said there was some controversy regarding that goal, and it had to do with the offside rule and the interpretation of the rule. Now, Rodri was offside at one point. You can see that he was clearly offside, but was this their defender's name? Mings. Mings. Yes, he had the ball. He chested the ball and was about to clear out. Then Rodri came from behind and got the ball off him. And then, of course, Manchester City went on to score. So this really infuriated the manager, Dean Smith, and he was talking about it. He was angry, gesticulating at the third line. Eventually, the referee came, showed him a yellow card, but he kept talking and he elevated it to a red card. And so the manager isn't happy at all. And he said he doesn't even understand why, what kind of rule was that. But if you look at the rules, the group representing the Premier League referees has come out with a statement, and they said that according to the rules, Rodri was onside and the goal that he scored was legitimate. So as soon as, according to the rules, I'm reading them verbatim now, as soon as Mings deliberately played the ball, the following law applied, and this is the law now. A player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately plays the ball, including by deliberate handball, is not considered to have gained an advantage unless it was a deliberate save by an opponent. As the law deems that Rodri has not gained an advantage, he has not committed an offside offense, and play should be allowed to continue. Rodri legitimately took possession of the ball from Mings, starting the attack, which resulted in a goal. So Tyrone Mings later tweeted this: "Never even heard of that rule. Just let players stand offside, then run back and tackle you. In hindsight, I should have cleared it 100%, but didn't even know that was the case." Nonsense. So you have a situation where even the footballers were not really aware of the rules. So from what they are saying, a player, if a player is in an offside position, but the opposing player now had the ball and he deliberately plays the ball, which was what Tyrone Mings was doing. So if that player now comes on the player that was offside to interfere with the ball, then he is no longer offside because the opposing player has now touched the ball. So he played him on. That was how they were trying to explain. They said even if it is handball, if maybe Tyrone Mings had handled the ball and the referee saw that Rodri was coming behind him, and Rodri now came, took the ball and went to score, the referee will not give the handball. He will instead allow that goal to stand.
Well, sometimes the way the rules are interpreted is really, really difficult sometimes, especially when it comes to some little issues with the offside stuff. You know, when the list of fingers, it could be your finger, it could be your toe, those ones giving you an offside, putting you in an offside position, and your goals. Your goal rather being ruled out. I think it has affected football, but it's ruled and it's the rule. They have to play alongside the rule. But I think for the players not to be aware of some certain rules in the game, I think they have to get a manual. I think that's been the case from the FA to know exactly what the sport is all about. Because a player cannot feel, okay, he's been cheated and there's a rule, saying that, okay, what he did was wrong and that was why his goal was ruled out. And to him, he will feel, oh, I've been cheated and this is not what's happening. So everyone has to understand where he is and the rules that are guiding the sport. But then
the manager of Aston Villa, Dean Smith, was saying that he thought that because there was VAR that they would go and check it, but VAR apparently interpreted the law as we have just read out, and so that was why they said there was nothing wrong with the goal that was scored by Rodri. Manchester City manager Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, who benefited from that decision yesterday, was asked if he would have been unhappy to be if it were him in the Aston Villa situation, and he said yes, but he also said, well, but VAR is here, so he doesn't understand the rule or the situation, but he is sure that VAR analyzed it, and that was why they allowed the goal to stand. So even the manager was not aware of this particular rule, that one, even if a player is offside, but the moment the opposing player deliberately plays the ball after he receives the ball and he plays it deliberately, then it is a problem. So if Mings had not touched the ball and the ball had gone to Rodri, then the referee will have blown that, okay, he was coming from an offside position. I've seen that happen several times. You see the referee gesticulating that you were offside before you were just coming on. But if an opposing player, but somehow I think I have remembered seeing an opposing player trying to control the ball, he misses it. The ball now goes to someone who was coming from an offside position, and the referee immediately blows and says, you are offside. Well, if the managers and the players are confused about this rule, don't be surprised that even I am also having some issues with the way they interpreted
they have new rules, they'll bring it out. And
no, it's not a new rule. It's been there.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying whenever there's a new rules. Yeah, a new rule, they will bring them out and they will let players know that these are new rules. But so long as these are part of the game and players are not saying that they are not aware, come on, then they have to
okay.
Put this once again for them to understand.
All right, guys, time for you to join us on the show. 070-6263-9275 or 090-3939-4427. You can also reach us on 081-2178-9154. Hello.
Brian, good evening.
Danjuma, welcome.
Brian, good evening. God bless you for the analysis. First of all, let me say our heart go to state coach, Joe Erico. But those are the three coaches. Maybe say they help Nigeria football to grow, but the benefit, they don't call it, they get there at the end of the day. So we just will say the family get the result. So that's what we do. There, for Zidane, you see me, I don't talk, I don't think and the chat. This season, they don't sack him before season ends. May resign at the end of the season. Because the recent result, no, they go away at a small club, just the use and the sign. You know, say, now, you know, the two champions, we don't win back to back. Now, better take control. So, may no spread the record. At the end of the day, he resign, or if they don't sack him, they resign. And they congratulated to my guy, Ronaldo, or you go with just the president now there. We can more roads to come. Now do it.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, welcome.
Yes, sir. Hey, for me.
It's good to have you.
So, as in the meeting, Chelsea board go today. How did it go, sir?
I don't know, but I'm just seeing that Bruce Buck, the chairman of Chelsea, said he was at the training camp. He went to see the training of Chelsea, and he saw hungry men, you know, people who are ready to carry the club forward. And then he spoke to Frank Lampard and told him that you should know that we are disappointed, and so you need to carry on. But if you want to hear that Frank Lampard has been sacked, no, not at the moment. He's still Chelsea's manager. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Kenny. I'm calling from Itobayo.
Okay.
I'm out to KUFM.
You're on to Sports Fiesta on KUFM.
Okay, exactly. Okay, I don't want to comment on one or two issues. Not especially the one that has to do with the coaching that we have sacked. The coaching that took us to World Cup after the chances, our hopes and chances are very, very big. I had the opportunity of meeting both Coach Schreiber and Stephen Keshi in the room. I apologize to them on behalf of Nigeria. Coach Schreiber was even shocked. Okay, again, I would like to comment on the golden eaglet that came second. I know a lot of people have talked about that they crashed out, they should sack the coach, Coach Amoro and the likes of that. But I would like to hear my views that the boy did very well. As Nigeria as a country, we're always after win. All the winning we have been winning, golden eaglet at these stages. That is not
But it's been a while now. It's been a while. We've not won it since 2015 now. So it's not like we've won every edition of the Under 17 World Cup.
Forget Soma made good in England. The first 3 countries in the world in terms of amount of winning. Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, we are not first, we are second. If we are not second, we are third.
We're actually first in terms of the number of trophies won. Okay, thank you. Please, let us talk for us. Thank you. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you? This is not David, calling from Upper one.
All right.
I want to really talk about the Chelsea and Frank Lampard. Because truly, as a Chelsea fan, I'm disappointed. Although that is a Chelsea legend, but if he should still continue to be as the legend of Chelsea, the highest goal scorer of Chelsea, let him just honorably resign, so that we can still recognize him, give him that respect as a legend. Because things is not going well. What I'm seeing happening in Chelsea now is looking similar to this kind of situation that happened between them when he was playing them with the other players with the AVB.
Okay. Thank you.
Because
yeah, thank you. But we didn't really talk. Chelsea was not part of the stories that we spoke about. It was just when somebody called and was asking what happened, and I just quickly mentioned that. Please we can look at other issues, please, because there are so many other people who want to talk about those issues. So maybe we should wait until they fire Frank Lampard, then we'll talk about him.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah. Maracana.
Mami Maracana.
Welcome. Welcome.
Alright, Brian. You know, say, if you say more, we keep quiet, the more you watch. I'll tell you, we really watch Lampard. At the end of the day, it's not relegation.
You don't do now, but today no be Chelsea. Make Chelsea fans not just come take over the whole show. Make other people talk.
Like the way they tell us.
We know.
When they tell me Maracana,
today Nigeria lose Joe Erico. You know, more we talk Joe Erico, more we talk Kadri. Talk some other issues. Hello.
Good evening.
Please turn down your please pity us now. We say this every time. We hear headphones, and if you do not turn down the audio on your radio when you call us, it's horrible to us. Hello, even people listening can't hear you well. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, Ibrahim and well done for a good job done you're doing. My name is Kingsley from Technical School Road. Very quickly, I'm trying to be very fast. So I was hard to feel bad hearing about the passing away of Rico. And I'm glad that your program, you're able to honor, at least mention this. If not, we will not even hear. These are people who have really put in some good work, not like most of our politicians who are seeking to pull us down. Like you just mentioned, I must really commend you. I'm not good at flattery, but I like the way you go back in memory lane history, telling us how this went. We're supposed to watch those matches, but we could not bother to look at those little things. I won't go into those things that happened. But when you mentioned, that's what I enjoy about the English commentary box. You see how they go and tell you history of what happened 50, 60 years ago, and that makes it more interesting. But so same you are doing, and I must say we should keep doing this good thing and will help us. But you see, let me quickly mention, you see like what you just said. This is how some Nigerians have been destroying the country. Like you mentioned about the Rico and Amadou Ditril. Now these guys are doing well. Imagine if they had, like you said, if they had kept them on for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But you see, for just one flimsy reason, personal reason, just an ego thing, you pull down these men and it's a sad one, but thank God that we can still remember these people for a good life. And I wish they would put, have something like the Hall of Fame, where people like this will be mentioned, will know, younger ones will know that this men served, they did something good like this and like this. It will also be a good thing to do. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's look at the text message now. Of course, still coming through, but let's quickly look at the text message. Okay, Ibrahim, I beg to disagree with you on Kadiri. If he dies now, the state will say they want to take part in his burial from Angel Gabe in Echo Sodin. Okay. But I don't.
Did he ask of
first of all, we pray that Kadiri Kana lives a long time. We pray God extends his life and he doesn't die anytime soon. But you know what we are saying here, what I am trying to point out is, if you are making demands on the state government, I mean, on what capacity? We've got to look into that. Are you an employee of the state government that they didn't do anything for you, or the person that you're talking about, is that person destitute? Is it that the person is based here in Edo State and nothing is happening with him? You can, you know, so you've got to look at these things. This person that we're talking about has coached the biggest clubs in Nigeria, has coached two of Nigeria's national teams. You know, so these are some of the things that we're talking about. Of course, if he were talking about the NFF now, or the federal government of Nigeria, then you have something to argue with. But I've not said no, the state government should not do anything. I said, but it's got to be, let us appeal to the Edo State government to see how they can come in, maybe put a call through to him, ask him what the situation is, and try and see how he can be rehabilitated, if that is really the issue. Okay, I hope it is understood.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome.
Pardon, sir. This is Chelsea Ambassador. I'm calling from the new city.
Okay.
Yeah, please, I want to know about Lampard. I don't know if
Lampard is still the manager of Chelsea. We don't know yet what. Lampard is still the manager of Chelsea. Lampard is
the manager of Chelsea.
Yeah, they have not sacked him. Thank you. Chelsea fans. Good evening, guys. Oga Ibra, as good as Mourinho, he did not win the manager of the month as often. Were other managers better than him when he won the league from greatness? This one says Frank must go. Tony G from RCC. Okay. Dear Sportive, there should be no justified offside. Offside should be offside. Kadiri Kana was an insurance player and Edolite. He deserves help from the Edo State government, from Don Morgan. I think EPL is becoming so interesting now. The title is still open for Man United, Man City, Liverpool, even Chelsea. RIP to our great legend Joe Enrico. Okay, Guago. Good evening, men of sports. Things I have not heard about Nigerian football since I was born were made known to me this evening. Mr. Ibrahim, I will call you football oracle. You people are too much. Keep moving higher. The Almighty will guide you all. Amen. Emeka from Agbo Road. Emeka, thank you. Thank you for those words. We'll hope we are worthy of them. Good PM, sirs. Are there matches in the EPL today? Richie from Siloko Road. Did we give the fixtures in the morning?
Last one. Only Liverpool taking on the volley. That match is at 9 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. It's very sad when a great legend dies. In Nigeria, we don't get to mourn them very well. That is very sad. We should try and do more to them. RIP Enrico Kesh from Aduawa. Oga Ibrahim, Lampard should be given, these Chelsea people, Lampard should be given a little time at Chelsea, and Olivier Giroud should be made to start most of the matches, because we have good crosses of the ball. Not be Lampard be the coach. Is it not the one that's supposed to be played it? Happy birthday, Charles. Wishing you all the best. Okay. What's okay? All right, let's go. I think these ones are not. All right. Good day. Please help me to tell Lampard to go. Fasting and prayer with good advice to help him. Frank. Okay, he's saying Frank Lampard should go for fasting and prayer. Okay. Frank from Delta State. Cavani is a great striker. Pains me that he didn't play for us when he left Napoli. This is how 94 came back for us. Glory, glory, Man United. Christopher from Benin. All right. Good day to you all. I'm Wisdom from Wari. Lampard will be sacked if he draws against Wolves and lose to Tottenham. The thing is, we don't even know whether he will stay that long. You know, that's the situation. Okay, one last call and then we'll leave this today. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, that's KFM.
Yeah, this is Sports Fiesta on KFM.
Yes, this is the 78-year-old man.
Oh, okay. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, how is the day?
Very fine, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk of Kadri Kana.
Yeah, you are eminently qualified because you are even older than Kadri Kana.
Thank you very much.
So you know everything about his sojourn in football.
Yes, because the point there was that, like you rightly said, I watched him play for Bendel Insurance. I used to be in the Badon and come to Benin to come and watch Bendel Insurance playing football.
Wow.
That's to tell you the passion I have for football.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the problem with us in this country is that, like we always say, that charity begins at home. Like the other boy that called, that if he dies now, they say they want to participate in his burial. Nigerians don't honor their living heroes. They only honor their dead heroes, which is very, very unfortunate. And then we talk about it. Kade has paid his dues as far as Nigerian football is concerned. And as such, if anything has to go wrong with him, the country will be very responsible because they have not been up to their own responsibility towards the care of those who have made this country proud as far as football is concerned. Because football is the only game that unifies this country. So anybody that participates in it and brings glory should be glorified.
Yeah, but that's the question we're asking. Is the Nigeria Football Federation owing Kadri Kana? Are you aware of that? Or is it that, should we be talking about the clubs that he managed? Because he was coach of the under-23 team in 2004. Yeah. He was coach of the Super Falcons in 2012. So at least Nigeria has given him that opportunity to serve. So at that point, is it that there is something that is due to him that Nigeria did not give to him?
Yes, there is one that Nigeria is supposed to give to him that not given to him. Like we mentioned the civilization. He said for a possibility that it was an individual who buried that Christian Chukwu. The concept was not forthcoming.
The what?
It shouldn't be so.
Individual.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you please say it again? But please, you've got to do it in 30 seconds because we've got to go now.
All right. All we are saying is that let's be square rules. If not, Nigeria football will not go anywhere. The management.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. I think what we should be talking about, which is something that I remember that I've said it on air. Some of my guests have also said it. A foundation, a fund for Nigerian Sports Fund or Football Fund, so that when you have a problem, you will be taken care of. You don't need to wait for the government. Look, there's so many things that government has to take care of. Government cannot take care of every individual. I recall, I always give this example. Benga Okunowo played for Barcelona. Not for that long, and he wasn't such a prominent player at Barcelona. But he had a problem. I think his house got burnt. Barcelona sent him some funds because he used to be in the Barcelona setup. So we should do the same thing for Nigeria. I wish we had time, but really we've got to go. We are even we've spent more than the time that we are supposed to be in the studio. Thank you, but you know we'll always talk about these things. Maybe tomorrow we'll continue. Thank you very much. Bye bye.